curtains over its head. Even the great and magnificent beasts need their rest. When the whole world is retired and the day is snatched from under them, when clock hands are shaken at midnight in agreement to this ungodly deal, then they are smuggled into another day. One mortal witness is standing watch. But he stands wide-eyed at the reception, taking in the gusts of the night air through the swinging doors, listening for wailing sirens, the blue lights, the red and the white, and whatever fate is born under their ghastly banner. For whether man or beast comes through the door, butchered, plagued, or deranged, though the world will turn their heels and flee, he will pick up the gauntlet and will have to run to with them, for a white coat never walks away. There is an oath that is sworn by every man that carries this name. Do no harm, they say, but I think there's a clause missing. It should have been, do no harm, even as we do none to you. For it will amuse you to know that when you burst through our doors, terrified, helpless, your doctor hasn't had a wink of sleep in days. Your life is in the hands of a starved man, in the care of one holding on by the last thread, sometimes a man with nothing left to lose. For we have danced with death every waking, dealing one another blow for blow. We have stared into the abyss of the unknown. We have walked in places angels dare not. We have looked into the bowels of human depravity and wickedness, and remember to smile somehow. You cannot serve and be proud. There is no glory in being society's plumber, sticking your hands into things a mother would cringe to touch. You cannot take pain and suffering away and not be reminded daily of how mortal you are. Every one of them, white coats, has carried secrets. They have seen, heard, and done things that would make the devil blush. Things we are expected to shield under the white coat, secrets that have burned our stomachs sore. We have lied in the name of confidentiality and grit our teeth. We have known pain like no other in this realm, for we die daily and wake up and do it all again. 1 foot forward, another foot behind. 1 foot forward, and another sun has risen up on the horizon. They stare and wake from their dreams. Civilians. Seize the day, they say. Deep inside, hidden among layers of sinews and muscle, something is slightly eating away at them. The bliss of ignorance. They sigh. They sigh. Puffy-faced, aching shoulders fueled on cheap coffee and catnaps. The intern, hunched atlas of medicine. There is no burden like knowledge. There is no mantle weightier than the coat of white. There is no yoke as enslaving as the stethoscope. The ones that came before us, they're like blind miners, groped their way through the human body. Murderers, sorcerers, rejects, scum of moral society, they were called. The steadiness of their stare that was thought to be calm and confident. It was the look of a man who lived in a battlefield and didn't dare utter a sound of it. In school, they thought of us as the creme de la creme. We were all looked at with hope and anticipation when they brought home the fast report card. A doctor, yes, they beamed, they put us in the papers. But we are the sacrificial lambs of humanity on the front lines day after day. We are select champions of our species, bungee jumping into the abyss of infirmity and death, with humanity holding the rope, holding on to nothing but a rubber tube, thinking we are a light to the dark well with a matchstick, with armor more flimsy than a comic book characters. and nothing to fall back on. More often than not, they let us down. They send us unarmed and undermanned to the front lines. Yet it is the best job in the world, they say, in spite of everything, because of everything. There's a dark corner where every white coat has been, where doubt and fear plagues them, when they wondered if they were good enough, and the endless what ifs, where they have wrestled with abandonment with the angel of fate and come out limping with a new name. Some of our brothers lost that fight. They came out at the bottom of a bottle, at the end of a needle, a cigarette, or on the arm of a night lady, or in the cuffs of an oily deal. We stand on the unmarked graves of our brethren who never came out at all, whose lights went dark, who couldn't find themselves in there, who forgot to live. We were confused in the darkness of medicine till one day slid into the next and into the next unnoticed, and they never saw the sun again. We chose the red pill. We have tasted the bitter end of knowledge. 28 days of crucifixion, guilt and terror. PEP, they call it. Every white coat's steady diet. Don't get me started on the terrors of the night. The conflict in your soul to care for the same patient that has put you in harm's way. But a white coat must be a magnanimous host and lay down his life daily, even for those without a name. Amongst the many, there will always be those who will belong, who will take the weightier yoke, the rougher road, and carry on our legacy. There will be the wide-eyed, the afraid, the hungry. They will each find their place among our ranks. When a voice calls for help, something will awaken in them, something bigger than themselves. It is not just something we do, for we cannot turn it off. We cannot say, stop doctoring. As you are a man or woman, black or white, it is something we are. A stain on our being. It is something that is beaten out of our very souls in the eternity that is med school. We are chiseled in the dark nights, the rough terrain of knowledge. It is something paid for with blood, with sweat, with tears, with our very youth. It is being the watchman over our species. It is the most humbling facets of God in man, and we still have to remember how to be human. We remember them all when we stand at the gates, the arrivals, the departures, every light bulb that went out before our very eyes, every soul that fell through the cracks into the abyss. They hover on the edges of our reason, more vivid than our own vision. We know their names, their voices, their pain long after their families have healed. After they have forgotten, we continue to bleed. For our doctor's work is never done, and his battle scars are marked upon his very soul, spawning demons where they find pain. So he dons the white coat to keep them in. And we stand at the frontier, a vanguard holding the line, shoulder to shoulder. White coats, little lights in the dark night. Thank you.